My name is Kamra Devi Dasi, and this is part 4 of my autobiographical video series. If something came out about misconduct in the churches by church leaders or whoever, it would be seen as their own discrepancy and not blamed on Jesus Christ, that he taught them to do it or condoned their behavior. A lot of people follow Jesus without having allegiance to the churches because they know that something went wrong with the institutions. The church behavior doesn't tarnish Jesus Christ or minimize his teachings. If we look at the histories, it was not just that the real teachings of Jesus became mostly hidden over time due to natural factors, but also that there were actual demonic efforts to keep his mood and his teachings from the people. There were efforts to try to destroy the pure transmission. Christianity is mainstream, but the real teachings of Jesus have become largely obscured. Evil personalities were envious of Jesus Christ and his mission while he was on earth and after. In the same way, it's essential that Srila Prabhupada is not lumped in with what some of his alleged followers did. There still are, those who externally glorified Srila Prabhupada, but actually created an empire of evil based on their deep envy of him. They appear or appeared as great devotees of the Lord. They dressed in certain ways. They spoke in a certain way. They maybe even had great charismatic appeal and a lot of followers. But they acted to try to undermine Srila Prabhupada's mission in the most insidious of ways. They acted in partnership with high-level, like-minded, demonic personalities outside the Hare Krishna organization. There has been a move to make Krishna consciousness acceptable in the mainstream, but that has also created compromise. Srila Prabhupada wanted the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to be known in every household, but in its pure rendition. Srila Prabhupada is a most exemplary personality, a topmost pure devotee of Krishna. But again, it's not just about misrepresenting him. It's also about the endeavor to purposefully destroy everything that he stood for and developed. These deviant beings were personally empowered and disguised by Kali, by the personality of Kali, the master of this iron age of quarrel and hypocrisy. Kali Yuga, or the age of Kali. That is why hardly anyone can recognize them for what they are. Only a pure devotee, by the grace of Krishna, is able to recognize such infidels, according to Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master, His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, who also confirmed why they are so difficult to recognize. I don't claim to be a pure devotee. I know these things because of my personal experiences. I tried to keep the Hare Krishna school system free of persons who they never should have been around children. I didn't realize that I was dealing with the topmost organized crime, the worst of betrayal of motherhood, betrayal of the guru-disciple relationship they attacked at the core. Srila Prabhupada never betrayed anyone, but his false followers teamed up with others in very high places and tried to destroy the relationship between him and his disciples. There's no greater offense. They purposefully tried to destroy anything good anything godly. And they almost did. One astrologer told me that I was born into the hands of an angel, that there were protective factors. So even though I was brutally tortured and threatened to try to keep the Hare Krishna school system clean, I'm still here. Srila Prabhupada observed with great sadness the developing situation, even while he was present with us, and he said, after I leave, there will be no protection for the women and the children. For my own part, I wrote an essay called Not in His Name. I've mentioned this before. It will give more information. It's available for reading on this website, purelyprabhupada.org, and Jvalamukhi also read it along with some of her own commentary and posted it as a video. So it's available on this site and also Jvalamukhi.com and her YouTube channel, Jvalamukhi Dasi. There's a lot that could be said here, but I'm going to wait and continue with this and further presentations because there are a lot of very important points. As far as my own work in the world, one excellent Vedic astrologer called me an ambassador of transformation. It was in Durham, North Carolina. It was a body, mind, spirit type expo, 2000, 2001, somewhere in there. And all the practitioners pay a big healthy fee to set up a booth and try to attract some clientele, some public attention. It was a flop show. The public never showed up. And all the practitioners had put out a really good amount to set up booths there. So at our expense, we ended up trading sample healing sessions or, just trading and sharing our own areas of expertise with the other practitioners. So this very excellent Vedic astrologer was set up there, and she looked briefly at my chart and at my hands, and she said, ambassador of transformation. And it was just so emotionally powerful to be recognized and confirmed. It was a very emotional experience for me. It was just very validating. So some years later, I had her do a full chart for me. It was 2010 or 2011. And I reminded her what she had said to me in Durham, North Carolina at that expo. And then she laughed and she said, oh, that was the understatement of the century. She said that in my later years, I would be doing transformational work at a level that was never seen before. So whether that occurs or not is going to be an attestament to how good an astrologer she is, how good an astrologer she is. So it's now my later years, and if it's meant to be, there's no better outlet for that than to push forward the teachings and the example of His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada wanted Krishna consciousness. He wanted sustainable community development with Krishna at the center. He wanted these things in order to provide an atmosphere of practical support for individuals and families in their quest for the highest goal of life, developing love of Krishna. He wanted the glorification of Krishna's holy names to be heard in every town and village. He wanted his books to be preserved, widely distributed, studied, and practically applied. That was my purpose in starting Purely Prabhupada, with its supporting websites, purelyprabhupada.com, purelyprabhupada.org, and now purifymylife.com. Srila Prabhupada wrote that the highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Everything that our team at Purely Prabhupada presents is based on the Vedic teachings as given by Srila Prabhupada. It's the culture of truth, the most joyful, absolute truth, far beyond the relative truths of this world. My goal is to see the teachings, the mission, and the mood of Srila Prabhupada spread all over the planet and even beyond as much as possible. It's said that the fame of the bona fide spiritual teacher is spread all over the three worlds. There's a lot more than this planet. There are many planetary systems, and they're generally categorized in the Vedic literatures as the upper, middle, and lower planetary systems. Sometimes we're asked, what is our target audience? In every outreach endeavor, the person is asked to delineate the target audience. So I've prayed that people can hear spiritual truth. I've asked Krishna to send the ones who can hear, the ones who are ready to hear, and to help set the stage for people being ready to hear. So the audience is up to God himself. The audience is up to Krishna himself. What we present at Purely Prabhupada will go where it belongs. The right people will find it, and I have full faith in that. But the message that Srila Prabhupada gave, the message of the absolute truth, may not be available to those who wear earplugs of dogmatic indoctrination from any religion or belief system. It may not be available to those who don't want their prayers interrupted by truth. When it rains everywhere, but some places are more able to accept the rain mercy. The oceans accept, the forests accept, even the deserts accept, but the rocks may not be able to accept, even though there's the opportunity. We have to be a little porous, we have to be a little open to accept these highest teachings. That's the audience, and I can't predict who will take it, but we do have to offer it.